Sean, let's take a look at your revision here, and then I'll go into the assignment, but your revisions for your poses and your ball bounce. First, great, nice settle. Looks good. Everything is looking really nice here. Yeah, that looks great. Good job. Everything looks good on that one. Really nice and clean. Good for your progress reel. Came together really well. Okay, good job. Let's take a look. Ah, yes, the air guitar. So this is looking good. Definitely hit my notes. I think the thing with this, like I like it. I think what will sell this a little bit better is if there's more weight on the foot, like bringing that foot up off the toe. I don't know if that's selling it as much. Like what I'm thinking here with this is that like the actual weight is for your character is like on this platform, right? Like they're using that for balance, and so that toe being up kind of takes that away from it. So it's a little thing, but I think it'll make a big difference. And then this is looking pretty good, but I would open up the like rotate this, like rotate everything towards the camera. Starting more like this, more extreme would be the chest, and then lesser down. So basically, like select all of these controls, the body controls, rotate them in Y towards the camera, and then go back and rotate the top one a little bit above that one, and rotate this middle one a little bit less than the top one, and then keep this one the same. So you're just basically rotating like that. And if that brings this hand and arm in front of the chest, that's okay. I'm fine with that. I think that'll be a fine if it's like that. And then other than that, I think it looks really good. So good job with that pose. It's a really clever pose. I think I like it a lot. So that's that. And then your pose here. This is looking pretty good. I would watch out for this hand pose. Like it looks kind of like it's kind of like it's a little bit too we see it a little bit too much from profile, so it almost looks like we're just seeing the side of it. I would give it more like what you have on this pose, where it's like opened up to camera. And I love how we see the neck here and that line of action and everything. I think that looks really good. So great job on that pose. Okay, so your revision. So you're planning. Let's take a look at your assignment. Okay, nice. Great. Really nice. Okay, so so your staging is great. I think that it's really clever the way you've put this together, and you have the heavy ball hit this button and start the light ball bouncing. But what's more clever is your staging and how you're directing the eye. Like we see the heavy ball come in and drop down, and our eye is over here. Let's just like follow, like our eye is just going over here, and then this brings the light ball closer. Now my only thing is that when this happens, when this motion happens, it's a big motion over here, and that's good because that again directs our eye. We see that big motion, we think, okay, we know to look over here, and that's okay. But I would bring it a little bit closer. Like I would bring these spaces a little bit closer to each other. Just again to use a little bit more, to use that screen space a little bit more effectively, and not have our eye have to like travel across the screen so much. We can keep this motion like happening to where like this happens, and then this happens like maybe over here. So it's just like a little bit cleaner in terms of that composition. It's a small note, but I think that it'll make a little bit of a difference, and that won't really change too much of what the light ball is doing. Like if the light ball bounces over here instead, You know, maybe it will change the bounces a bit, but I mean, you definitely have that handled really well, so I'm not too worried about that. I love that you have the heavy ball not react to the light ball once the light ball is hit. It's a really nice touch. Again, it gives it just a bit more weight to that heavy ball, and a little bit less weight to that light ball, which is great. You know what? I'm going to take back my note about moving that composition. Just, you know, the reason why I'm doing that is just because I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, and it's such a small note that I don't want you to reanimate that light bulb too much. What I'm basically saying is I'm not taking off from the grade for this. I think that everything is working really well. If you decide, I still stand by that note as far as like the composition being, you know, it could be a little bit tighter, but for this case, I don't think it's a big deal, and I think that it works really well. So either way, like if you decided maybe I want that composition to be a little bit closer together, then by all means try it. But yeah, it works so well as it does right now. I don't want you to go back and reanimate that light ball. So yeah, let me just go through this frame by frame really quickly. This looks really good. I love that hit and that bounce. Like, I feel like this bounce could be a little bit higher. Just again to give it some contrast between, like, you see how like it goes up, like it could go up a little bit higher, and that would give it more contrast. Don't change these bounces, but make this bounce a bit higher, just because it'll again give it more contrast between like that big bounce and those light little bounces there. And then I think it could ease to a stop a little. It just take a little bit longer to ease to a stop. Like it's stopping at the right area. Like it's not rolling too far, and I like that. But I feel like we could just see a little bit more ease, and then ease back in that part. Like right now, I just feel like it just kind of stops a little abruptly. And then, yeah, the light ball is great. So that's it. Great job, Sean. Looks really good. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks.